Okay, so here we're going to do a run through of your consolidation test so you can go back through your paper and make your corrections and see where you went wrong. So question 1, so I did a few of these earlier, so just so we can talk through, work out the size of the interior angle for a regular 12-sided polygon. Let's work out an exterior angle, so we do 360 because all exterior angles add up to 360 of a regular of any polygon. Divide that by 12 because that's the number of exterior angles because we've got 12 sides, we get 30 degrees. An interior angle plus the exterior angle makes 180. So if we do 180 minus that exterior angle, we get 150 degrees. Explain why there's no regular polygon with an interior angle of 153 degrees. If the interior angle is 153, then the exterior angle is 27 degrees. We know exterior angles all add up to 360, so to work out how many exterior angles you would need of 27 degrees, we do 360 divided by 27. That gives me 13.3 recurring sides. Now, that doesn't make sense because you can't have a decimal number of sides. It must be a whole number of sides, so 153 can't be an interior angle of a regular polygon. Question 2a, everybody got that, the 30% of 30, which is 9, I think. 3b, however, it says compare numbers and percentages. You have to compare, so you need to use words. So percentages, school A says higher, there's my comparison. Percentage of students born in Asia, and I've read the percentage off, than school B, which is 17%. However, school B has a greater number of students because I've worked out what the percentages are, and I've rounded my answer because 10.2 isn't reasonable, compared to school A. And again, I've said what the numbers are. Question 3, A, estimate. So each of these numbers had to be rounded to one significant figure. I then type that into my calculator, and you get 500 centimetres cubed. Again, units important. B, use the calculator to work out the volume to the nearest centimetre. So I go back to my original, type it in, you get 492.55, which rounds to 493 centimetres cubed. C, estimate the number of balls that can be made from 2 litres of molten glass. Well, 2 litres is 2,000 centimetres cubed, so I do 2,000 divided by 500, which equals 4. Question 4, mutually exclusive means they can't happen at the same time. So when that happens, the probability of A or B is the probability of A plus the probability of B, which is what I've written down here. We know this, so a third equals a quarter plus something that we're trying to work out. So we do a third minus a quarter, we get a 12th, that's the probability of B. Probability B does not occur is 1, because all probabilities add up to 1, minus the probability that B does occur, which we've just worked out. 1 minus a 12th, 11 twelfths. The probability that neither A nor C occurs, so let's work out the probability that A or C occurs by adding them, a quarter plus a fifth, which is 9/20ths, but we want neither nor, so we need to do 1 minus that, which gives me 11/20ths. Similarly for D, none of them, so we work out A or B or C, which gives you 8/15ths, and then we do the 1 minus, which gives me 7/15ths. Tablet computer costs, this is question 5, £139. It's reduced by 21.6% in a sale. So find 21.6% of 139, it's 30.02, etc. So you do 139 minus 30.02 and you get 108.976, but it's money, so we round to 108.9. Okay, this one using your calculator. So this, you should be, the easiest way to do it on your calculator, use the square root button and then type in the fraction and then type in your 41.7 minus your 6.2 and then divide it by 2.15 plus 0.94. Because you've used the fraction function, you don't need to put brackets, and you get that answer rounding to 1 decimal place. Sorry, that should be 3.4. Yes, and here to 3 significant figures. 1, 2, 3. The 9 rounds the 8 up, so it's 3.39. Question 7. Okay, simultaneous equations. I've labelled the first two as 1 and 2. I need to make the coefficients of x or y the same. I've decided to pick x, so I've times equation 1 by 5, because then I get 15x plus 20y equals 240, times equation 2 by 3, because then I get 15x plus 6y equals 114. Because those coefficients are now the same, and they're both the same sign, they're both positive, I can subtract them. 15x take away 15x is nothing. 20 take away 6y is 14y. 240 take away 114 is 126. So 14y equals 126. Divide both sides by 14. You get y equals 9. Now I know what y is. I can substitute into any equation, doesn't matter. So I've used the first one, 3x plus 4 times 9 equals 48. So 3x plus 36 equals 48. Subtract 36 from both sides, 3x equals 12. Divide both sides by 3, x equals 4. And you get your answers. Here, the table shows information about the number of siblings in a group of students have. The mean of the number of siblings is 1.3, complete table. So the mean is we add up how many we've got in total and we divide by the total frequency that we've got. So we've got 5 people had no siblings, so that's my 5 times 0. 15 people had 1 sibling, so we've got to do plus 15 times 1. X number of people had 2 siblings, so 2 times x. 2 people had 3 siblings, so your 3 times 2. And 1 person had 4 siblings. And then we need to divide by the total frequency, which is 5 plus 15 is 20, plus 2 more is 23, plus x. And that equals our mean of 1.3. So we end up with 25 plus 2x equals 23 plus x. We try and get rid of that fraction by timesing both sides by the 23 plus x. So 1.3 times 23 plus x equals 25 plus 2x. 1.3 times 23 is 29.9, so we've got 29.9 plus 1.3x equals 25 plus 2x. So 29.9 equals, and then I subtracted 1.3x from both sides, so 29.9 equals 25 plus 0.7x. Subtract 25 from both sides, so 4.9 equals 0.7x. Divide both sides by 0.7, we get 7 equals x. So to complete the table, I can now just put that in as 7. Okay. Question 9. A circle of diameter 6r is cut from a square piece of card with a side length 7r. Write down a simplified expression for the area of the card left over. So the area of the rectangle, the square, is going to be 7r times 7r, which is 49r squared. Okay. The area of the circle is pi r squared. R is going to be 3r because the diameter is 6r. We've got to half it, so it's equal to pi times 3r squared. The brackets are important, so I end up with 9 pi r squared because I have to square that 3. So the leftover is going to be 49r squared minus 9 pi r squared, but it says simplified. So we've got a factor of r squared that can come out, and we've got 49 minus 9 pi. 49 and 9 don't have any common factors. Okay, question 10. We're going to need a ruler, and we're going to, first of all, we need to work out. So if you're using 1 centimetre equals 20 kilometres, we need to do 330 divided by 20 and 450 divided by 20 to work out how long that each bit needs to be. 1 centimetre represents 22 kilometres. Okay. Oh, no, we don't need to do that first, sorry. It says only after 20 minutes. So 20 minutes is a third of an hour. So this is 110 kilometres for plane A. And plane B is 150 kilometres. So we need to convert that into centimetres. We need to do 110 divided by 20, which is 5.5. And we need to do 150 divided by 20, which will be 7.5 centimetres. So we've worked that out. You're also going to need a protractor, which I don't have with me. So I'm going to estimate it, but you would do this with a protractor. Okay, so the first thing you would do is put your north line in. Okay. Then you would measure an angle with a protractor of 115 degrees. And then plane A goes 5.5 centimetres. So just put this down while I do the 5.5 centimetres. Okay. And we label that as 5.5 centimetres. Okay. Plane B, they're leaving the same airport on a bearing of 194. Well, again, we're going to estimate that because I don't have my protractor, but you would be doing this with a protractor and they need to go 7.5 centimetres. So I draw my line of 7.5 centimetres, and this here is 194 degrees. I then measure the distance between them. You can see I get 8.6 centimetres roughly, like depending on the accuracy of your diagram you'll get a tolerance, and we know that 1 centimetre represents 20 minutes, so we need to do 8.6 times 20 which equals 172 kilometres. Now there was a tolerance for this because you might have got a slightly different distance, this distance, okay. Then the bearing of A from B. So you're starting at B because this is where plane B is. You put in your north line and A is over here now. We draw the line, so 1 second. Okay, so I've drawn that line and I'm measuring this angle here. Okay, again, I don't have my protractor with me, but I can see it's less than 180, and so it'll be 0, and then I will put this bearing should be 3 figures, so 0, and then whatever I've measured that angle to be. Okay, now because it's a scale drawing and it's involving bearings, you need to put your north lines in, you need to label the angles, and you needed to label the distances. It was worth 5 marks. The bearing bit, part B, was worth the 2 of the 7 marks. Okay, question 11. Arc of a circle, and the radius is 8. We know this angle. We want to calculate the length of an arc. So first of all, the circumference of a circle equals pi times the diameter. But this arc is a fraction of the circle, and it's 100 out of 3/60ths of the circle. So the arc length is equal to the angle over 360 times pi times the diameter. Now my radius is 8, so my diameter is 16. My angle is 100, so I'm doing 100 over 360 times pi times 16. Again, on my calculator. This is to an appropriate degree of accuracy. Well, that is 13.96 centimetres. That's to 2 decimal places. But an appropriate degree of accuracy. This is given to the nearest centimetre. That's given to the nearest degree, as far as I can tell. So we're going to go with an answer to the nearest centimetre, 14 centimetres. Okay, the last question. Y plus y squared over y squared. Well, we need to simplify, so we need to cancel out common factors. Well, y and y squared have y in common, and that's y, oh, sorry, that's the wrong way around, y, and then y times 1 plus y, because then y times 1 will give me the y times y gives me the y squared, and that is over y times y, because that's what y squared means. Now what I've got on the top of the fraction and the bottom of the fraction, I've got y times something and y times something, so they can cancel out, common factors. So I end up with 1 plus y over y. And there you go, 46 out of 46. Make sure you go back through and do your corrections. Okay, if you've got any more questions, come and see me in the lesson.